What's going on, everyone? My name's Mark, and this is Mako Reselling. Now, I buy things at places like Goodwill, garage sales, estate sales, resell them online. I primarily buy men's clothes, but I also buy other things as well. And in today's video, I've got a special topic. This is going to be men's backpacks, although a lot of the rules for this are applicable to women and children as well. I've got 8 brands that are great buys, and I think backpacks in general, and all these are going to be used backpacks. I think backpacks in general are a pretty ignored category. With resellers, I think a lot of times resellers, they rush the new racks, and at least in my area, sometimes they'll drag out a little thing of backpacks, and a lot of people don't go and actually search through. It's an easy, quick, 2 or 3 minute check you can do in the Goodwills, and you can make good money. Most of the ones on this list are going to be 50 and up. A lot of them will be closer to 100, and some of them, minimum will be like 25 to 30. And if you're paying just like $5 or $6, it's a nice flip. They're also easy to ship, easy to store as well. So let's go ahead, let's get started. Our first brand here is JanSport. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. I'm going to separate this out into just 2 basic categories: modern, vintage. Let's start with modern. You've got a few different types you're looking for. The first is called the Right Pack backpack, and you can look right in the tag. It'll show it in there. The second is like a rolling type. It's called like the 8 roller or something. I'll flash something up on the screen here. Only thing I'd say with these, and both these will get you about 30 to 50. Only thing I will say with like the roller type is that you may have to put it in a box to ship it. I've never actually sold one of these, so I'm not too sure. But that's kind of my thoughts. It's going to be heavier. But if you don't mind putting it, boxing it up and stuff, then that's definitely one to look for. The third type in modern is going to be just like cool patterns. They have some of them under JanSport. They have some decent patterns. It's nothing crazy like some of the other brands we'll see on here, but be on the lookout. Vintage, it's going to be pretty easy. Just look for Made in America and or some sort of older tag, or if you could find a date or something, and that's what you're looking for there. Our next brand here is Sprayground, and they're really known for doing like cool patterns on things, like on these book bags. So sometimes they can be kind of hidden and camouflaged in. People, you might think that they're like some cheap knockoff or Chinese brand, but just be on the lookout for them, be on the lookout for their tag. One interesting thing that I did find out is there appears to be a lot of new ones on the market right now in the thousands. Now, I could have botched the eBay search, but I highly doubt it, because I was just scrolling and scrolling and just saying, are people using that keyword of Sprayground? Are these knockoffs? And I was just randomly picking them. They were not. So I was finding thousands of new ones. So possibly, eventually the price on these could drop. But at the moment, it has not. The used market is still doing really well. It's about like 500 around there, if I remember correctly. And the sell-through rate was definitely high. A lot of these are going to get you 50, even upward to 100. I think these are more of like a style-based thing. Certain styles, certain prints are going to do really well with Sprayground. Be on the lookout for it. Make sure you don't buy a knockoff. Our next brand is one I'm sure you're familiar with as well. It's North Face. Now, the North Face backpack market is very big. There's quite a bit of ones that are not going to get you too much. So you're going to want to look for ones that are more in like the hiking, have more of like the hiking outdoorish feel. One that does pretty well is the Borealis. I'm sure I butchered that, Borealis. Those go for like 40 to 50, and they sell consistently. I think it's a hiking backpack. I'm not entirely sure. There's also the Jester. This one is more for like commuting into work. So it has like a laptop place where you put like your laptop in, and it's cushioned and everything. Those go for like 25 to 30. So nothing great there, but these are out there. And if you can get them cheap enough, it definitely could be worth checking out. I would say with the Jester, definitely use like keywords like commuter, like work, career. With the Borealis, definitely, you want to probably be using like outdoor hiking, camping, things like that. Although a lot of people do use the Borealis for going to work and stuff like that at the gym. All right, our next brand is a terrific one. You might have heard of it. It's Supreme. It is like a streetwear skater brand out of New York City, and it's a good one. They make backpacks. The market's pretty big, around 1,200. There's only like 250 or something sold. The sell-through rate was pretty low, but these things can go very high. They can get up 75 into the hundreds. So with a low sell-through rate like that, I'm not concerned if they're selling for that much. I just think the fact that a lot of people don't want to pay in the hundreds for a backpack, that makes sense. So if you do find one of these, definitely pick it up and look for it in other stuff too, other clothing and apparel type stuff as well. If you're like me, you probably definitely remember this one and had this one growing up if you're in your 40s or 50s. Eastpak. So Eastpak has been around for a while. It's been around since the 60s. And I even remember they went under fire for doing some sort of commercial where like a woman killed a guy because she took his backpack. Anyhow, the only thing that's really worth buying with Eastpak is going to be the vintage, but you should be able to get decent money, like 30 to 40 range, and you're going to want to see that Made in USA right on it. It's going to be right on the outside. You won't even have to open it up. Their modern stuff, I don't think there's much worth it with their modern stuff. It's just kind of mass produced from what I'm able to tell. I'm sure there's some modern models that do pretty well, but this is definitely like a book bag for school, for kids. It's not like some of these other brands, which are more like you can use for like hiking or you can use for like travel and stuff. This is definitely like a school backpack, school book bag. So look out for the vintage ones. They can make you some okay money. Okay, our next brand is Oakley. Of course, Oakley is known for their sunglasses. They've been around at least since the 90s. And their backpacks do well too, and it's a pretty big market. It's around 1,100 with about a 50% sell-through rate. Now, in terms of Oakley, it's kind of a double-edged sword with finding Oakley because they've got the big O on the outside, which makes it easy to spot, but then other people are going to spot it too. So I think this brand might be a little bit tougher to find than, even though the market for the used is 1,100, it might actually be a little bit harder just because people are going to see that. They're going to grab it. These sell well. They'll sell in that 50 all the way up to that 100 range. You get a good model. Definitely one to be on the lookout for. And our next brand here is one I like. It's Lacoste. Now, Lacoste has a pretty small market size. The French company only has, about 100 or so on eBay for used backpacks. And a lot of them don't sell for too much. They sell in that 25 to 40 range. Still, I think if you could find one with the gator on it, especially a big gator, it would definitely command a lot more, closer to like 75, 50 to 75. But definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. It's borderline with a lot of stuff. But with the backpacks, I would pick one up if I found one and I was paying like $5 or less. It would be worth it. These backpacks are easy to ship. Our next brand here is Stussy. Stussy is an American like streetwear, skateboarding, surfer brand out of California, Los Angeles, I believe. The sell-through rate for this brand is not that great. It's like in the 20s or 30s. And the market size is not that big. It's like 150 to 170. Now you may be asking, why the hell are you suggesting this brand? It's because it's, most of them, the overwhelming majority sell for 50. A lot are going for 75 to 100. So if you find it and, you're going to get, and you're not paying a bunch of money, you could easily get it, make a $50, $60 flip on one of these bags. They're also easy to ship. They're also easy to store. So you may have to hold it for like 6 months or something, but it's definitely something where if there's that much profit, do you really care that much? I don't personally.